Have you ever wondered why leaders keep secrets in the first place? Why vast amounts of respect and authority are sometimes necessary to acquire particular knowledge of questionable value and origin? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. There are exceptional individuals that realized that there are things that the average person simply doesn't need to know. They may know the true value of what information they possess. They may understand that most individuals would abuse power once given, and sometimes they know that there are things in this world that are best forgotten. Few people can claim to be strong-willed, and even fewer are telling the truth. So, if you were given the might to challenge the very gods, would you foolishly brandish it and paint a target on your back? Or would you hide it, waiting for the right moment to reveal the true strength you possess? Welcome, my friends. Today we'll discuss some of the ancient and magical artifacts scattered throughout our world. Just one of these relics alone typically has the power to shake an entire civilization to its knees when abused, which is why we rarely hear of them. Because why would any sane individual willingly broadcast the true strength of something unless they didn't intend for their victims to survive in the first place? Gather close as we partake of ancient lore and ask ourselves, wherein lie the keys to ancient power? Our investigation starts closer to home than you think, with the mighty Archon, Louisoix Le Veilleur. As a powerful mage and respected Archon, even by Charlene standards, Louisoix was privy to knowledge that most people wouldn't dream of possessing, let alone comprehend. One such secret was the true nature of his legendary staff, Tupsimati. So otherworldly was its power that many people believe that the staff was blessed by Tholiac himself, since the weapon bears the symbol belonging to the god of knowledge. But this is a misrepresentation. People's eyes are drawn to the symbol when their gaze should be focused higher, to the horn resting at the tip of the staff. Indeed, this horn that has been crafted into the staff and made part of a greater whole is where the true strength of Tupsimati rests. In truth, the horn is an ancient Charlean treasure that goes by an obscure name: the Key. The Key was given this name for one simple reason: its seemingly limitless potential to access the aether of Aetheris. While most people need to focus or practice particular spellcraft to draw upon the world's aether, this horn could draw upon and channel ambient aether effortlessly. This was the secret to Louisoix's phenomenal power during Bahamut's rampage, conjuring the power of gods to challenge the Elder Primal, the otherworldly ability to cast individuals from the world's weave, and finally, manifesting himself as the spirit of renewal, Phoenix. Thanks to the staff's power, Louisoix was able to gather and use more aether in this short time than anyone in recent history, even more than the mighty Dragon King, Midgard-Zormr. All this was made possible by Tupsimati, or more specifically, the Key. Louisoix isn't just a legend for saving the world. He's time-honored for carrying one of the greatest artifacts of power in history and not once thinking to abuse it. His will, principles, and determination were equal to none. As for Tupsimati itself, it's unknown who created it, only that it was clearly fashioned with a greater purpose. Whether that purpose was fulfilled or not, no one knows for sure. But what we do know is that the horn itself wasn't the only one of its kind, not at all. There are multiple artifacts in our world possessed of great and terrible power, and gods help us if these things were to ever fall into the wrong hands, for there would be many an innocent victim before such madness is finally put to rest. These artifacts are kept secret more often than not, and even amongst those that are known, we know very little about them, if anything at all. In fact, 2 such artifacts were discovered within Seal Rock by a pirate belonging to the Kraken's arms. These 2 items were a stone tablet, containing unknown words of power, and a horn, similar to the one atop Tub Samadhi. Upon realizing the value of the horn that was found, it eventually made its way into the hands of Commodore Stallman, the mentor to the current Commodore Rayner. Stallman had dreams of becoming the Admiral of Limsa Lominsa, and believed that the power within the horn would give him the edge he needed to make that dream a reality. However, Stallman proved himself to be of weaker stock than Louisoix, as he failed to contain the horn's power, causing the aether around Limsa Lominsa to run wild. Once it was discovered what Stallman planned on doing with the horn, he was dishonorably discharged from the Knights of the Barracuda. This left his seat vacant for Raynar Hansred to eventually fill. Archon Y'shtola, who was within Limsa at the time, made an effort to try and seize the horn so that it might be sealed away. However, an Ascian named Travanjet felt the disturbance of aether caused by the artifact and moved to investigate. Upon realizing what caused the disturbance, the Ascian stole the horn and disappeared without a trace. Shortly after, the kobolds summoned Titan with ease, and the Sahagin also called upon their Lord Leviathan. The timing of these events are too close, and it's easy to say the artifact was instrumental in teaching the beast tribes how to summon primals with relative ease. Elsewhere, around a similar time, another horn was being kept in the Sultana's private vault. This horn was fashioned into an instrument, and was retrieved from the vaults under the guise of a royal procession, wishing to display the country's wealth for all to admire during the event. The horn was given to a mammoth to carry and blow into when the time was right. Well, that time came when a gubu was made part of the parade. It was bewitched by thaumaturgy and under a mage's control. However, when the horn was sounded, the aether within Ul'dah was made to frenzy, and as such, the spell on the gubu was broken nigh instantly. The broken spell, as well as the agitated aether, caused the gubu to go mad, rampaging through the streets of Ul'dah and killing a man who was trying to protect his daughter from the rampaging monster. This individual was none other than Minfilia's father, a gentleman named Warburton. After this event, the horn that caused all this chaos was spirited away by a thaumaturge who was an Ascian in disguise. And as you can expect, Ifrit was summoned almost immediately afterward, suggesting that the horn was given to the Amalja. But who fashioned these horns, and why? What beast did they come from, and from where? Does their command over aether cause primal summoning to come easy, or is it something more? All these questions are left unanswered. With all of these unknowns, it stands to reason then why Sharlayan scholars are understandably hesitant to relinquish knowledge on such dangerous artifacts. And yet, the horns are not the only sources of extraordinary power. Similar items can be found across the entire world. For example, the Kojin are in possession of multiple items considered to be blessed by the Kami and are extremely powerful. Some examples would be a treasured sword, jewel, and mirror, which were so densely tied to aether that simply bringing them close together resulted in the summoning of a primal, Susano. Likewise, the ancient weapon located in Bozia, called Save the Queen, has similar command over aether, and was a weapon of unique power. Like all the other relics we've discussed, Save the Queen was responsible for bestowing phenomenal etheric power, but only to whom it deemed worthy. All others would only gain a fragment of its true might, or lose their minds to madness entirely. The last example of powerful relics we'll discuss today is the ever-mysterious Heart of Sabik. Also known as the Black Holy Stone, this relic acted as the etheric core of the Ultima weapon controlled by the Garlean Empire. Historically, the Heart of Sabik dates itself back to the Allegan Empire. However, it was only discovered by them, and is likely even older than that. Especially when you take into consideration that the Ascians seem to be intimately aware of exactly what it is and what it is truly capable of. The Garlean Empire as well as the Allegan Empire would only ever use the Heart of Sabik as an ethereal battery, given its tremendous amount of etheric power, although they never seemed to discover the reason behind the stone's magical potential, as the true essence of the stone was that it contained a spell of devastating power, the spell known as Ultima. Much like how a summoner's book contains symbols and incantations, it's theorized that the Heart of Sabik contains the required instructions for the Ultima spell, and that the stone itself was designed to gather and store power for its casting at all times. However, all of this is in theory, as few modern scholars ever got the chance to study the Heart of Sabik, and those that did never discovered its true origins or potential. And that, my friends, should give you a better understanding of why these and many other artifacts of power are usually such closely guarded secrets. In the hands of lesser individuals, these things are unstable, likely to cause more destruction and chaos than good. Commodore Stallman was a respected leader and visionary, yet the horn he acquired was far beyond his willpower to master. Likewise, even Save the Queen was feared for its potential to bring ruin to not only the land, but the wielder as well. So take heart, my friends. While you may never come across or wield one of these relics, you might not want to in the first place. For many, they're beyond mortal comprehension, and as such, are sealed away, never to be released unless absolutely necessary. And yet, in the hands of someone as extraordinary as Louisoix, it is possible for miracles to be born. But that will be all for now. Be vigilant in your travels, and as always, stay safe, my friends. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Big shout out to my patrons, Rovakis, Monsolo97, Potato, Runatir, The Yellow Couch, Papaya Cyan, Sage Mouse, Volvala Soma, and EB the GT. If you want to see more lore content in the future, share this with your friends. My dream is to share as much as I find with as many people as possible. And if you do end up helping me, thank you so much in advance. And have a wonderful day.